Welcome to the Matriarchy Times, the podcast where we explore the power and potential of a matriarchal society. I'm Farah. I will be your host today. We dive into inspirational conversations with individuals who are passionate about positive feminism and the transformative impact of female leadership. From activists and scholars to everyday advocates, our guests share their insights and experiences and visions for a world of equality, empathy, and empowerment. So, we are here to celebrate the strength of women and envision a future where matriarchy leads the way. So, whether you're a long-time supporter or new to the movement, welcome. And I hope you enjoy our thought-provoking discussions. And today, joining us is Marilda, or as she's more popular known, the princess who left the tower. She is an influential voice on the subject, and we ourselves as a community have drawn on her many times for inspiration. And we are privileged to have her here with us today. And without further ado, let's begin our conversation. Hi, Marilda. Welcome to our show. So,
Oh, thank you.
can we begin by hearing a bit about you and your journey in matriarchy?
Yes, of course. So, hi, Farah. Hi, everyone. First, let me tell you this. I feel so honored, and it's a real pleasure for me to be here. And also, thank you for letting me share a bit of my story. This means a lot to me. Yeah, my name is Marilda. As you said, I'm from Italy. And my journey towards matriarchy has been quite the ride, meaning that it wasn't something that happened overnight. It was more like a gradual unfolding over the years. Um, so let me share a bit of that. I will keep it short, interesting, not boring, I promise. So let's start from this. I spent like 20 years, almost 20 years, working as a project manager in a corporate world. Um, at at the beginning, I did think much of it, but I was actually working in a male-dominated world. I just didn't think about that at the beginning because for me, it was, the way things were, right? Over time, I started to see these little significant differences in how men and women were treated. At first, it was about who was sitting at the table, literally, when you have a meeting and stuff. And then, I started to notice difference in behaviors, in expectations, and then later on, also in wages. These things started to have my attention because when you are studying at university, you don't really think about that. That was not even on my radar. Okay, when you start working, then you start noticing, all these things. Anyway, I was just working in this environment. But then the real turning point for me came when I became a mother. So I got twin boys who are the light of my life. But when they arrived, everything shifted, changed, collapsed in a way. Suddenly, I was balancing a demanding career as a project manager with the realities of motherhood, which is not easy, really. It was tough. The struggle was real. And I saw even more clearly how the corporate world actually was stacked against women or mothers, maybe. The whole work-life balance felt like kind of tightrope, the pressure was non-stop, you know. After years and years of doing this and, kind of juggling the two things, it got to be too much. I hit a wall, I got burnout, I fell into a deep depression. And admitting that I needed to stop and heal was one of the most difficult things that I've done in my life. So I decided to quit that job, the project manager job, and focus more on my recovery. Now, during that time, I started to learn about women's rights, feminism, and eventually matriarchy. And what I discovered was shocking, eye-opening, and it became so clear to me how deeply imbalanced the world is and how crucial it is for us, for all of us, to work to change that, right? So I felt this urge to raise my voice. It was terrifying at the beginning. I mean, I was someone who could not even take a selfie, right? But I was already thinking to speak, in front of a camera and in English. But I knew it was necessary. So I started making short videos, like breaking down the things that I was learning about sociology, anthropology, women's studies, and then especially about matriarchal communities. And my goal was and is to make these important ideas accessible to everyone, to make them more digestible, kind of. And my goal is to raise awareness about this topic and maybe about the need, for a change. So that's I'm here. That's where I'm here on my journey. I'm driven by this belief that together, really, we can make this world more balanced, more just for all of us. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It is that I'm sure that a lot of people listening to you can relate to experiencing burnout after like entering motherhood while working in a corporate environment. Is there anything that you can like anything you have to say to these women who might be thinking that there's no way forward, like they're going to be trapped forever, like not being able to get out of their depression? Like how did you manage? Like what was exactly, was it about matriarchy that helped you to get out of uh, your situation? Like what did you learn? What was your first kind of learning?
Yeah, I learned that we need to rethink. You need to rethink things. Um, because we are following a pattern, right? We grow up, we go to university, we start studying, then we start a job, then we start a family. We are following kind of a pattern, which is good as long as you really enjoyed it.
Mm,
But if you feel that you don't belong to that, if you feel that there is something more out of this, my suggestion is just to stop a little and think and connect really what are your true values, true desires, also your true needs. For me, my priority at the time and even now, I mean, my priority are my kids. And I just understood that I could not stay in an environment where my priority was always dismissed. So for all women there in this situation, just stop, think, reflect, and ponder, consider things, and look for a way out, because there is. And it doesn't take decades, honestly, to make the shift, but it takes lots of courage. That's why you need to stop, think, be ready. Oh, well, probably will not, I mean, you will never be ready, but just decide to take the step out of that, out of that. For me, it makes so much more meaning to be out of that environment and build something for myself, which I'm doing at the moment. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
I think that your kind of way of getting out was you started your YouTube channel Marilda, aka Princess Left the Tower, and also you have a page called Living My Digital Life. So I understand that these were your outlets. So can you tell us more about your journey to start these kind of social media and information
Yeah,
spaces?
yeah, exactly. So basically, after I decided to quit my job as a project manager, I find myself in a tough spot. That's why you need to have courage.
Yeah.
It was tough because I had no income and I needed to figure out something out fast. Um, so in those challenging time, I started to, search for a way out, as I said earlier, something, to do without going back into corporate world because I didn't want to do that, right? And during my research, I stumbled across something that really caught my attention, which is huge, huge, super huge, but I didn't consider it before. And this thing is the digital economy. Now, what amazed me was realizing that online, the gender gap and all these gender issues that are very common in traditional industry are not existent. They just don't exist online. Just think about it. Whenever you are buying anything online, let's say e-commerce business, Amazon, whatever, are you really interested in knowing who is behind that e-commerce shop selling you things? Are you
Yes.
thinking it is a woman? It is a man? Do you think about that? You
No, not
don't,
at
just you
all.
don't
Yes.
care, right? But when you are in a meeting, okay, in an office, and you are sitting around a table, people are going to look at you. They are going to judge the way you speak, the way you are, are dressed that day, your hair, the voice, what you are doing. They are going to judge you. That's it. This is my experience in 20 years. People are just going to judge you when you are around a table in a meeting and just sharing your knowledge and doing your job. Online, that does not exist. So that's the first thing that I said, all right, that might be, a nice place to be. But there was a problem. I had no idea how to run an online business. I had no idea what to the business to start in the first place. So, okay, I said, listen, you need to face this, right? And you'll have to learn some digital skills. And that's why I started this program in digital marketing. And that, gave me lots of knowledge. It gave me the right mindset. It gave me really so many things. And so it gave me also the tools, to open a YouTube channel. And it gave me the tools, the confidence, and everything to sit in front of a camera and start speaking. So at that time, all these things were coming, um, together. Now, my YouTube channel, which is Marilda Aka, the Princess Left the Tower, is a passion project. It's no profit, okay? I don't live from that. That is a place where I can share my thoughts, share my passion for matriarchy. And it's a place where I can just openly talk about what matters to me. That's it. And my mission is to raise awareness, about this topic, is to talk to women, especially not on men, just women, because I have the feeling that there are so many women that they are masculinized, meaning that they are playing the man role in a male-dominated world. That makes them feel disconnected probably from their true nature. And we can see that in this leadership, which is not really as it should be. And, so many aspects of that. So I want to educate I want to, yeah, like spread the voice, maybe initiate a movement, like that. But this is my passion project. This is no profit. On the other hand, my living my digital life is where I share my knowledge, my expertise, from the perspective of a person who was in the traditional corporate and shifted
Mhm.
into the online world. Now, I'm not an expert, all right, but I can really encourage and guide people, women especially, to make this transition. And in this sense, I am promoting the program that I started myself, and that it's really changed my world. It really changed my life. It changed the way I earn money. It changed everything. First of all, my ability to control my time. So I'm not, kind of the slave in an office for 8, 9 hours a day there. I am in control of my time. I can decide when to work, where, all this. I'm in control of my time, and time for me is a luxury. It is so important because time I can give to my kids, time I can give to myself, to my family, to the people around me. So yeah, that's a luxury. And now I'm in control of my time. So this is the first thing that is for me absolutely a game changer. So basically, as I said, I'm kind of a bridge. I help women to transition to this phase and to meet the coaches and the experts who are in that platform, who are in that program, and who are, super, super wonderful people, really. I mean, Stuart and all the others. So that's why I'm doing. And a little disclaimer here, where I'm bridging or helping women doing this, of course I get commission, so I believe it's important to also mention that. So this is one of my business in living my digital life. And at the moment, I'm also building other two different online business. One just following my another passion of mine, which is nutrition and healthy life for women in menopause, like myself.
Mhm.
And the other one is I'm doing this project with a wonderful person that I met online in this while I was studying in this program. And we are creating programs to help women to connect with their feminine energy. So we will launch one of these program very, very soon, hopefully next month. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I answered to your question, but yeah, that's how I started, and that's where I am at the moment.
No, what you said was really good because, like, if there's someone out there who's kind of afraid of making a change, like thinking that there is no way out, that they don't have a choice, hearing your story could probably inspire someone to at least try. Because there are so many people out there who won't even try because of fear of failure. So, what you said might be just life changing for somebody, like showing them that there is help, that there are resources, that there is a way to kind of take control. And I also want to touch on, now that you mentioned that your one of your newer projects is about feminine energy, and you also mentioned that you feel that people are like losing their connection with feminine energy when they're forced into corporate environments. So, what do you think? Like, what is important? Like, how important is it that women maintain their connection with their feminine energy, or that they kind of have control of how they
Yeah,
feel? Yeah.
it's a really brilliant, brilliant question. And now let me share a bit more of myself. I'm being very vulnerable here. So um, personally, I have I had forget, all right, I've forgotten, sorry, about my feminine energy for so many years. Because I was playing the role of a project manager, in a male-dominated environment, working, hard, super hard, to please the boss, to please, to reach the milestones, all the things that the goals, whatever, achieve some specific results. And by doing that, I just, ignored my feminine energy. I was, following my career as a male. Then the kids arrived, and I start feeling like uncomfortable because there was something in myself. It was, you know, I don't know, like I could hear this voice very loud, screaming, to give attention to this part of myself that I had ignored for so long. So that's why, I started all this. I also in yoga and meditation. I always try to find tools that could help me connect with this, but I was not fully aware at that time. I have to be very honest here. Just over the years, and when I finally hit that wall and I got burnout and the depression and everything, then when I, touched rock bottom, that is where I really understood that I need to connect with my true self. My true self is pure feminine energy, and I have to work on that to, make it come to the surface. This is so, so important because I see so many women that work and go through life on an autopilot, kind of, following the path, following some patterns, following some, I don't know, predictable ways, ignoring all the rest. But at the end of the day, they always feel empty, maybe disconnected. They don't know this discomfort where it comes from. Because I didn't know myself, but then I understood, okay, right, this comes from this, that I am ignoring this voice inside, which is so powerful, and we just don't connect to it. So yeah, this is so important. And while studying matriarchal communities, I really got to understand that. I really understood how this works, because just think about that. All ancient communities were matriarchal, although mainstream anthropology and mainstream history often dismiss that, or just, sometimes mock these theories, but they are not theories. Actually, there are facts, scientific evidence. So the matriarchal communities were the first communities on this planet, and I'm talking about Neolithic, Mesolithic, ancient history, right? Those communities were thriving around the matriarch, the mother, or the goddess. What is it? I came to the conclusion that is pure feminine energy. So you don't need to think about the goddess as we see the God now. God is an entity. In monotheistic religion, and before that also in the first patriarchal religious gods were some kind of powerful entity. And the god, where does he live? Up in the sky, deep in the sea, up on the mountains. It's not easy to reach the god, all right? The god is fierce, is powerful, is judgmental, and you have to do this, and that to stay in that order, right? But the goddess is different. The goddess who was worshipped in those ancient times, and still now in some communities, The goddess is in the fire that warms our house, is in the cave where our ancestors used to live, is among us. And let me tell you, is around us, is in the nature, is within us. Women especially, but also men. Let's don't forget that in a matriarchal society, men are very important. This is not about, destroying the men. Absolutely, quite the opposite. Is trying to create a balanced society, you know. So yeah, maybe I'm going somewhere else, considering your first question. But yeah, feminine energies is crucial, and to raise that, we have so many tools, that we can use to connect and raise it. But also, we need to add some kind of knowledge. What was at the beginning of our mankind, matriarchal communities, how they used to work, how they work now. What is, the main characteristics of these matriarchal communities? What was the value behind, all this? This is very, very important, and it comes spontaneous. It comes natural when you start working on this and learning about all this, research and stuff made by anthropologists. Then you understand that you really need to connect to your source, and your source is energy, and our energies is feminine as well. So yeah, that's my
I like,
journey at least.
yeah, I like how you actually highlighted the fact that men are important in a matriarchy. And plus, like, even they will thrive if they connect to feminine energy. I know there's so much negative propaganda and negativity about matriarchy and saying that it's going to be like against men, which has completely destroyed the whole outlook of matriarchy and the outlook of, female-led societies. And I think that you kind of made it easier for people to kind of know that everyone gets to be a part of a society that is led by matriarchs instead of one kind of section dominating the other section. There is no power
Mm.
struggle, there is no conflict, there is always empathy and kind of understanding. And is there any connection between goddess worship, as you said, and growing feminine energy? Like, if someone wanted to connect more to their feminine energy, would goddess worship be a kind of avenue to that? Would that be a path? Like, if someone
Yeah,
didn't know how to connect to their feminine energy, if they had no idea like what it felt like or what it was that they're missing, like, would goddess worship kind of be a start that they could take?
yeah, absolutely. So first of all, for me, you need some knowledge.
Yeah.
So really, my suggestion is to dig deeper, go into these topics, learn about matriarchal ancient communities, and learn about the role of the goddess in those ancient communities. Um, and that from that knowledge, then try to understand how to, you know, make it real in your own life and your own experience. And that is a spiritual awakening, it's a spiritual path anyway, it's a spiritual journey. And there are so many things that we can do. We can do meditation, yoga, as I mentioned. I'm, in my program, I'm also offering different tips, practical exercises to do that. We can do many, many things, but everything starts from this point. Take a moment to go inside, just, start to go within, which is not so common in our Western communities, our Western society. We always, run from here to there, living in the past, living in the future. Please stop. That's my suggestion. Go in, go within, live in the moment, and try to understand all this inside you first, having the knowledge that I said before. And then there are so many things that you can do as well. Like, for instance, I take part every month usually to this little circle of women where, well, also men actually attend, and we gather usually in the during the new moon, and we gather in little circle around the fire usually, so in the countryside outside, in the countryside, and we lit the fire, we stay there, and then what we do is just share our emotions, try to connect with each other. Maybe we sing, maybe we dance, maybe we set intentions very clearly. We can say poetry, poems, whatever. It's a very nice way of connecting to this energy, which is vibes, right? So you can feel the vibration that is raising from the group. And this is interesting. There are so many groups of women around the world doing this, right? And you can kind of raise these vibrations, and then you will feel at a certain point that reverberates with other groups around the world. So it's so powerful. It's so nice. So my suggestion to women who are listening to this right now, just try to see if there are groups of these kind of women, in your place where you live. Try to connect and try to create this. The more, the better, the planet really reverberates from these vibrations. Um, I'm kind of positive, by the way, and I mean it, because this planet is going through a new stage, I guess. And now there is more attention, to these topics, to women and all this stuff. So we need to really step into this and make it bigger and bigger globally. When I started my studies, I obviously started from feminist book, right? So I started to learn about feminism. Feminism was absolutely great because it really started a movement, and thanks to that movement, women could have so many rights. So don't take me wrong. I still believe that it's a very, very important thing that happened to this planet, and I love that. I mean, so much. But what I see now is how this feminism is utilized to actually create a negative movement. This movement that also using aggression and violence. I don't stand for that. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go beyond this and we start really learning about matriarchs and matriarchy, then we can finally understand the true meaning of all this, because the matriarchy movement cannot be violent, cannot be aggressive. It's impossible, because the value behind is harmony, peace, balance, equality. It can't be in another way, right?
Um, so I hope that people will kind of, learn to get the right message and like stop
Yeah,
spreading all this negative propaganda, because it's very sad, because they are trying to do something good, like spreading matriarchy, like feminists. Like it's not a bad thing, but it has become like a swear word for some people, you know. Like when you tell someone that you're a feminist, they immediately get, very upset and they like have something bad to say. But it's supposed to be something beautiful. And it's very sad that media and like people have done this to something that should have been a way for the whole world to be a better place.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
There is kind of distortion of the true meaning, of this. That's why I believe in education. That's why I started this
Yes.
small YouTube channel. It's just a small YouTube channel, but it's my place where I can share this, Yeah.
So, how do you feel that now, if we were to kind of like we are on the path to kind of transition into a matriarchy, hopefully in our lifetime, like from all your knowledge and all your research, like what do you think will be the biggest challenge?
Oh, well, there are so many challenges.
Yes.
And I don't have an answer to your question. My dream is really to, live in a time where this kind of social organization can really take place, where, the lead or the leadership is in the hand of matriarchs who are caring for all the people, both men and women. So that's my dream, to have this kind of global matriarchal community. Definitely, we can start from small matriarchal communities and make them grow. Um, but the challenges are huge. In the first place, misconception.
Hmm.
There is no really understanding of what this is in the first place. Second is skepticism. Um, and another big issue is the actual mentality is pretty radical
Hmm.
and it's patriarchal. Maybe people just don't use this word, but it is what it is. It's patriarchal system, with a hierarchy and all the organization in this society. Everything is patriarchal. Um, so what I think is that maybe we can start from families, like small entities inside the family, try to balance the two roles and give more power to the mother. The matriarch is the mother, right? The matriarch is the mother of everyone. And even if you don't have your own children, you are a mother in any way, a mother of people around you, your own parents when they get old. I don't know, you always can have that role if you wish to, right? So maybe starting from small families and then to have some more bigger communities and starting, this way from the bottom, not from the top, like from the bottom really.
Hmm.
But how we can do this, I have no idea. I'm still, learning and finding interesting information every day. I'm still researching about that. I'm trying to get a clear understanding. I'm trying to get a clear, you know, vision also about this, because for now it's just my dream. My passion is there, How we can do that, I don't know. Education, and that's what I'm doing.
I
It will
think
take
that's
time.
yeah. Yeah. I think that's about the only thing that we can hope for. Like the only kind of option we have is having conversations like this and providing
Mm,
people with some insights about how we see the matriarchal community in a positive way. And I also want to thank you for telling our listeners that anyone can be a mother, because I have a feeling that when we use the term mother and stuff, a lot of women who don't want to have children or who can't have children, they kind of feel marginalized. So the fact that you mentioned that when we are someone who cares for or nurtures for anyone at any point, that they can be in the role of a mother. So you made a lot of
Absolutely.
people feel a lot better, I think, by saying that. And also, you're doing great work by helping women to transition out of the corporate environment into a digital income earning kind of situation. And with your website and your page spreading the news about matriarchy. So, thank you so much, Marilda. It was such a great conversation with you today. I hope that you had a good time as well. And
Oh, I loved it.
we look forward to maybe hearing a lot more from you now and seeing more on your YouTube and your new projects also. So thanks a lot. And
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Really, it means a lot to me. Um, when I started my channel, my friends, even my family, told me that I was either fool or mad. Nobody really understood, or like, I don't know, like, they criticized me a lot. My all choices were criticized by my family. The idea to leave my well-paid job, they just could not understand. The idea to start something new, to start over completely, they just could not understand. And so, I was in a place where nobody really trusted me. Nobody really understood what I was doing. I probably didn't understand myself in the first place. I just was answering to a call. I was just, for the very first time, following my intuition, following my
mhm,
gut feeling, which, by the way, is feminine energy. Now I know, but at the time I didn't know.
okay.
Um, so I always have been not understood. Let's say this. And then I started the YouTube channel and also my other business, and people are coming to me. And then I met you wonderful guys from Matriarchy Times. And for me, this is absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. It's, I don't know, it's wonderful. So I really need to thank you.
We're so glad that we could help, and also you helped us a lot. So, uh, and I want to thank our listeners who joined us today. And I hope you had something very insightful, interesting to listen to. And once again, this is Marilla Khatrum, the princess who left the tower. And we're signing off for today.